रिपीट करताना प्रेझेंट
तुम्ही
हाय ना
की कोई होणार नाही ना.
ओके
Okay. Start. Okay.
स्क्रीन से
Good morning and a warm welcome to all to the two-day national webinar on NAAC standard operating procedures and documentation organized by the IQAC of Devchand College, Arjunnagar. Honorable President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Sri Ashish Bhai Shah, Honorable Vice President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Dr. Sautrapti Bhabhi Shah, Honorable Principal, Devchand College, Dr. Persons, Dr. M.B. Kothre and Dr. Shirish Chitole, and dear delegates from across the country, consisting of principals, IQAC coordinators, members, associate and assistant professors, and the office staff. On behalf of Devchand College, I, Dr. Shashikala Ingle, Secretary, IQAC, Devchand College, extends hearty welcome to all once again. Since March 2020, we have been living in unprecedented times. COVID-19 pandemic has created chaos and has disrupted our daily lives. We have been under lockdown for the past 3 months. Now, gradually, life is limping towards normalcy. However, one unprecedented phenomenon during these testing times has been that the academic fraternity of our country has remained active during the lockdown. We have been attending webinars, FDPs, e-workshops, and e-conferences in order to upgrade our knowledge and skills. In short, we never forgot the pursuit of excellence in our careers. We believe that the NAAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, has succeeded in creating awareness about the requirements and implications for HEIs, that is, higher education institutions, even in post-COVID-19 scenario. As we all know, NAAC has been rationalizing its policies and procedures over a period of time. It has revised guidelines 4 times in a matter of just 2 years in its quest for quality, objectivity, and transparency. In order to throw light on all these, Devchand College IQAC has organized this 2-day national webinar on NAAC standard operating procedures and documentation. Let us now move towards the brief inaugural function. I would like to invite our Honorable Principal, Devchand College, Dr. P.M. Herekar sir, to deliver the concept note.
Good morning, all of you. Honorable patrons of our college, our institution, Shriman Ashish Bhai Shah, the President of Janata Shikshan Mandal, and President of this inaugural function, our Vice President, Honorable Srimati Trupti Bhabhi Shah, the resource persons of this 2 days national webinar, Honorable Dr. M.B. Kothre, ex-principal J.I. Bhagewadi College, who has a long association with us. Another learned resource person, Dr. Shirish Chitole, from Mahavir College, Kolhapur. The IQAC Coordinator of our college, Dr. L.P. Lanka, and Secretary Srimati Dr. G.D. Ingale, who have been instrumental in organizing this webinar. Respected members of staff of Devchand College and other dignitaries, participants who have given a positive feedback and according to our invitation, who have registered national webinar and logged in on time. I welcome you all for this two-day national webinar on important theme of standard operating procedures and documentation, organized by IQAC Devchand College. Dear friends, it's a gospel truth that the development of any nation in all the spheres of human life is determined by quality of its human resources. And the quality of human resources in turn is determined by the quality of higher education system in that nation. During the post-independence period, there was huge quantitative expansion in the higher education system in India. And today, it is the third largest higher education system in the world as far as enrollment of students is concerned, next to China and United States of America. Friends, though we are proud that we have got a big higher education system, but when we come to its quality, the position of our country is weak. According to the latest survey conducted by prestigious QS in 2020, it has been revealed that out of the 200 top graded institutions, only 3 Indian universities and 3 IITs, IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Only 6 institutions are figured in the top 200 institutions that have been rated latest. Now, the higher education in India is plagued with the problems such as outdated and irrelevant curriculum, poor quality of research, regional disparities, rote learning, lack of skill development, and the result of all is that there is a lack of employability of the students coming out of this higher education system. Friends, after the introduction of new economic reforms in 1990, the India government, first of all, we opened our economy for the multinationals, global transnational companies in our nation. But government took the decision from 2020 we will open even education sector for the foreign universities and institutions. And while giving the entry to the foreign education institutions, it was a worry of government that we should upgrade the quality of our higher education. As a result, in 1994, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAAC, was established with its headquarters in Bengaluru. Since inception, NAAC has done excellent job. It has upgraded the quality of higher education in India. It has evolved the system wherein it has decided the norms. It has from time to time refined its norms and done the evaluation sincerely and raised the quality of higher education in India. NAAC has been monitoring the quality. It has been doing its job sincerely. But after all, it's a monitoring agency. Ultimately, the quality of higher education has to be decided by all of us. The teachers who are the spearheads of the higher education system in India. The principals, the managements, the university authorities, They are the people who have to determine the quality of higher education in India. And to determine the higher education quality of higher education in India, we have to understand the philosophy and framework of NAAC. We have to understand the norms of NAAC, the method of evaluation. We should be well versed with the methodology of evaluation. We should know the standard operating procedures, how to do the documentation. We should understand the NAAC philosophy and principles, way of working, methodology in a proper sense, and adopt ourselves according to the expectations of the NAAC. So that we can, once we fulfill the expectations of the NAAC, definitely the quality of our higher education will be upgraded and it will be enhanced from time to time. Now, to do so, the current webinar organized by IQAC of my college is a step in this direction. The two learned resource persons, Dr. M.B. Kothare and Dr. Shirish Shitore, they have contributed excellently in the upgrading the quality of their own education institutions. And going ahead, they have worked as a members of NAAC peer team and done the assessment of n number of institutions all over India. And going one step ahead, they have continuously involved. They have done a lot of introspection, lot of work in the NAAC methodology, and they are working as a resource persons on different events organized by different colleges. They are counseling different colleges in upgrading the quality of higher education. Such learner resource persons are there with us. They'll be sharing their knowledge and experience. They will be upgrading our knowledge. And I'm sure that at the end of this day, all the participants will have a new insight into the methodology of NAAC, will know as to how to upgrade our education system, because we are the responsible elements of this higher education system. We have to upgrade our knowledge and we have to bring
Very inspiring concept note. Let us move towards the next part of the inaugural session. Our Honorable President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Shri Ashish Bhai Shah, and Honorable Vice President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Dr. Sautrapti Bhabi Shah, who has been a representative of management in the IQAC. They have sent their good wishes and to this national webinar. Let us now move towards the first session. Before the session, I would like to introduce our first distinguished resource person, Dr. M.B. Kothare sir. It's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to introduce him. There has been a long association with Dr. M.B. Kothare sir of our college. So I would like to introduce him to the honorable delegates of this national webinar. Dr. M.B. Kothare obtained a BSc degree from G.I. Bagawadi College, Nipani, affiliated to Karnataka University, Dharwad, in the year 1980. He obtained MSc degree from Karnataka University, Dharwad, in the year 1982 in the subject of physics. His specialization was nuclear physics. He did PhD in the subject on the topic composites of ferroelectric materials from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He obtained the degree. His research output consists of 20 research papers. Then for research, he visited Jaipur, Cochin, BARC Bar, Mumbai, IIT Chennai, and IISc Bangalore. He completed 2 MRP projects. He obtained 2 fellowships for PhD and MPhil. He worked as principal of KLE's G.I. Bagawadi College, Nipani, from June 2014 to June 2019. He worked as IQAC Coordinator for NAAC from 2005 to 2014. He worked as coordinator of NAAC Steering Committee in the year 2010 and got A grade for the college with CGPA 3.25. He also worked as NAAC peer team member from March 2015. As NAAC peer team member, he visited a number of colleges such as Holkar Science College, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, MGR College, Protodor, Andhra Pradesh, JSM College, Alibag, Mumbai, Maharashtra, MJ College, Jalgaon, Maharashtra, Government College, Daman, Union Territory, Janki Devi Women's College, Patna, Bihar, and for a triple A for academic and administrative audit, and for NAAC mock team, as a NAAC mock team member, he visited a number of colleges. Amongst those colleges, a few are TC College, Baramati, Pune, Maharashtra, Sangameshwar College, Solapur, Maharashtra, Devchand College, Arjunnagar, Kolhapur, Bharati Vidyapeeth, Kolhapur, BK College, Belagavi. He recently visited a number of colleges as a resource person at Mama Saheb Mohol College, Pune, JT College, Gadag, GSS College, Belagavi, SK Arts and HS Kotamri College, Hubli, Basveshwar Science College, Bagalkot, HIST Science and Technology Institute, Nidsoshi, Pondaghat College, Sindhudurg, Maharashtra, SS Morgal College, Kalaburgi, GH College, Haveri, SB Arts and KCP Science College, Vijaypur. He visited a number of colleges in Maharashtra and Karnataka as a resource person for NAAC. His achievements are that because of his assiduous efforts, that he was instrumental in getting to G.I. Bhagavadi College A grade with CGPA 3.35, which is the highest in the jurisdiction of Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi. His college got for Potential Excellence position grants in the year 2016. He retired from service as a principal on 30th June 2019. He continues to work as peer team member as a NAAC assessor till today. So we have now amongst us such a distinguished person to guide us on the revised NAAC guidelines, standard operating procedures for DVV, and how to do documentation for NAAC, for DVV and other things. So now I would like to request just a few seconds, friends. Our Honorable President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Shri Ashish Bhai Shah, he would soon join us in a few seconds. Just a few seconds, friends. So our Honorable President, Sri Ashish Bhai Shah, is going to join us very soon in a few seconds. So just a few seconds, please. Keep me on. Hello friends, our Honorable President is going to join us very soon. It's indeed a great pleasure. It's indeed a great pleasure to have amongst us Shri Ashish Bhai K. Shah, President Janata Shikshan Mandal Arjunnagar with us. A young and dynamic leader who heads a group of institutions from KG, primary, secondary to UG, PG college and technical education institution. A leader, a visionary leader in the field of education. He has been awarded with the Visionary Leader Award by the prestigious Indo-Global Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Agriculture, Pune. He is particularly interested in NAAC initiatives, professionalism in education and technical upgradation. Now, I would like to invite Sri Ashish Bhai K. Shah, our Honorable President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Arjunnagar, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir. Over to you, Ashish Bhai Shah, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, Bhaiya.
Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Sir, you are audible, sir. You are audible, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. You are audible, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
We all have gathered here for a 2 days national webinar on NAAC standard operating procedures and documentations. The main two resource persons for this 2 day schedule, Dr. Kothre sir and Dr. Shitoye, are going to give us more information and more. They're going to highlight the new procedures which the NAAC is adopting. NAAC has played an important role for the teachers as well as for the institution. They have geared up everybody. They have made them.
Hello, sir. Hello, Bhaiya. Please keep video on, please. Would you please keep your video on? Hello. Hello, Honorable Bhaiya. Some connection problem. President. Okay, Honorable President. So, we will proceed with our session 1. I have already introduced our Honorable resource person, Dr. M.B. Kothre sir. Now, I will hand over the mic to Honorable M.B. Kothre sir. So now over to you, sir.
चालू कर.
मिनिटचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे त्यामुळे तुमचंही करा म्हणा त्यांची विशेष त्यांच्यातर्फे द्या आणि कंटिन्यू करा. यांना नेटचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे कनेक्टिव्हिटी त्यामुळे ते बरोबर येऊ नका त्यांना प्रॉब्लेम आहे त्यामुळे तुम्ही बेस्ट विशेष द्या त्यांच्या दोघांची यांच्या टॉपिकची आणि पुढे कंटिन्यू करा आणि रेकॉर्डेड सेशन तेवढं पाठवा मागे जाते.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. The President of Devchand College, Sri Ashish Bhai Shah, Vice President Mrs. Shah, the Principal of the College, Dr. P.M. Herekar Sir, IQAC Coordinator and Secretary Shashikala Ingade, and all the delegates from Maharashtra, Karnataka and other states. Now, I would like to highlight the NAAC revised accreditation framework, standard operating procedures and documentation. First, we would like to know what is NAAC and how accreditation has to be carried out. What are the important things for the NAAC, and that we have to start with this. Now, my topic for today's the webinar, that is based on this particular SOP and documentation. But before that, first I would like to tell introduction to NAAC, assessment and accreditation to higher education institutions, and preparation of self-study report, and later on standard operating procedures and opt-out matrices. So today, in the first session, I would like to cover the NAAC new guidelines effective from 1/1/2020 and SOP from standard SOP from 13th of February 2020 and documentation. Now, introduction. As you know, the growth of higher education institutions, HEIs, in India is tremendous. It is said the year 1900 to 1950 is the age of information. In those 50 years, the people used to gather the information, therefore it is called as the age of information. Even higher education institutions having that status, that is 50 years, that is age of information. From 1950 to 2000, it is the age of knowledge, and from the year 2000 onwards, it is the age of innovation and ICT. We are now in the age of innovation and ICT, information, communication and technology. Now the trends in the growth of higher education institutions is tremendous. Up to the year 1947, there were only up to the year 1947, there are only 19 universities and 5,000 colleges. Up to the year 2007, there are 360 universities and 21,000 colleges. That means over a period of 60 years, the number of universities has increased from 19 to 360 and colleges 500 to 21,000. Then up to the year 2010, 500 universities and 31,000 colleges, and up to the year 2014, 700 universities and 35,000 colleges, and up to the year 2019, at present till the end of December, 990 universities and 45,000 colleges are there in our country. Now, because of the growing of large number of colleges, this NAAC is essential for maintaining the quality standards. Now we would like to have students enrollment at the end of December 2009 in India is about 3.8 crores, out of which 1.95 crores boys and 1.85 crore girls. From the available statistics, it shows that 86% of the students are enrolled for undergraduate programs, 12% students are enrolled for PG programs, 2% students for research and other programs. Now, faculty-wise enrollment of students are 42% students are enrolled for arts faculty, 20% students are enrolled for science faculty, 18% students are enrolled for commerce and management, 12% students enrolled for engineering profession, 4% students enrolled for medical profession, 4% students enrolled for agriculture, veterinary and other professions. From the above data, it shows that only 80% of the total enrollment for arts, science and commerce, and only 20% are professional colleges. So with this intention, the NAAC was established because there are large number of institutions in India and large number of faculty members and students. For having the quality in higher education institutions, NAAC was established in the year 1994 as an autonomous institution of University Grant Commission (UGC). The vision of the NAAC is to make the quality the defining element of higher education, and the mission of the NAAC is to arrange periodic assessment and accreditation and give promotion to quality in teaching, learning, research in higher education in India, and encourage innovation in higher education in India, consultancy training in higher education in India, and to collaborate with other stakeholders. Now, the status on institutional accreditation in India as on December 2019 is 603 universities have been accredited so far, and 12,653 colleges have been accredited. So a total of around 13,000 and odd higher education institutions have been accredited. Out of 45,000, lot more colleges have to be accredited in due course. Then the status of institutional accreditation in Karnataka as on December 2019 is 27 universities have been accredited in till December 2019, and 823 colleges are accredited in Karnataka. Now, I would like to highlight the important thing is that the grade declared after revised accreditation framework. This revised accreditation framework was launched from 1st July 2017 till date, till today, till yesterday. Now, how many colleges have been accredited in this period, over a period of nearly 3 years? Colleges 1,496 and universities 74. Total colleges and universities accredited 1570 till yesterday, that is 27th June 2020. Now this I am highlighting because many colleges and universities going for accreditation from 1/7/2017 onwards, they have got less grade. The reason for that is either the higher education institutions are not knowing the guidelines properly, and also there is 70% with the software in the NAAC and 30% with the PRT members. Before 1/7/2017, 100% weightage with the PRT members, but from 1/7/2017 onwards, the weightage is 70% with the NAAC software and 30% with the PRT members. And therefore, this statistic shows that only A grade HGI is only 219 A grade colleges, only 14%. B grade colleges 1,031, 65%. C grade colleges 296, 19%, and D grade 24, only 2%. So why I am showing these statistics is from 1st July 2017 onwards, number of colleges getting A grade has been reduced and only it is 14%. Around 84% are B and C and 2% are D grade colleges. This is because the people are not adjusted with the NAAC new guidelines. And because of this, the NAAC had changed its guidelines again 1/7/17 to again 1/7/18. Then there is slight changes they have made. they have introduced opt-out matrix. Then again in the year 18 March, there is slight changes, and they have made again changes in December 2019, so that all the colleges and universities should go to the NAAC for accreditation and they should get the grade. That is the reason. Now, why the colleges are getting less grade? This is because the reason that many higher education institutions, they don't have idea of the documentation, what is the standard operating procedures and documentation. Now, therefore, I am extremely thankful to the Devchand College that they have arranged this type of webinar for all the higher education institutions. Now, as you all know, core values: contributing to national development, fostering of global competencies amongst students. I will not highlight much about this. Inculcating a value system among students, promoting the use of technology. ICTs are implemented in HEI. Use of ICTs in documentation, data management in HEI, to create institutional website, networking, make the whole world close, quest for excellence, SOC analysis of institution, and to create a center of excellence. Now, assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions. What is our focus on assessment or focus of assessment? NAAC focuses on quality initiatives, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement. NAAC evaluates strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. There are stakeholders: management, faculty members, administrative staff, students, parents, employers, community, and alumni. So there are internal stakeholders: management, staff, and students, and external stakeholders: parents, community, and alumni. And for the focus of assessment, we should have development of IQAC cell from after the first cycle, that is the building the quality culture in higher education institutions. Now, revised assessment and accreditation framework. Revised assessment and accreditation A&A launched in July 2007, and again in 2018, 2019 March, again 2019 April, and again last it was updated in December 2019, and it was launched from 1st January 2020. What it represents? It represents ICT enabled, objective, transparent, etc. The new assessment and accreditation contains qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative indicator. Earlier, we were having 300 questions. Now, the NAAC has reduced from 300 questions to 121 questions. Later on in December 2019, again they have reduced, that is 121 questions to only 96 questions for UG and PG and 93 questions for UG. Those questions we refer as matrix. Then here, extensive use of ICT, information communication technology, and reduction of number of questions. As I told, number of questions have been reduced. Size of the report is very, very handy. Earlier we are having 400 pages like that, then it has reduced to 200 pages. Now it has reduced to only 80 pages. And visit days are also 2 days visit only. For any higher education institutions, especially colleges, 2 days visit, and for universities, 5 days visit. Now, one more important thing they have introduced, that is boosting benchmarking as quality improvement. There are certain benchmarks they have introduced for colleges and universities But these benchmarks are hidden, that is not known to higher education institutions, and therefore marks and grading are given based on the benchmarking in the higher education institutions. Now next important is introducing pre-qualifiers for PET visit. Now we are having 70% with the NAAC software and 30% to the PET members. Out of 70, the institution should score minimum 25%. Means 70 marks, 25% of 70 marks is 17.5, means college should score at least 18 marks for PET visit. If the college or university doesn't score more than 18 marks, then the institution is not qualified for PET visit. Again, they have to resubmit this self-study report. Then here system generated score, SCS 70% and peer judgment 30%. Before 1st July 2017, 100% with peer members, but now 70 with the system and 30 with the peer judgment. Now introducing third party validation of data, that is whatever 70%, that is quantitative matrix, we send in self-study report, that is validation has been made by third party, that is not the PET members, not the institution, not the NAAC people, but it is done by a software designed by the NAAC. And there are appropriate difference in matrices and weightages, benchmarks to universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated and constituent colleges. Now in this webinar, I will highlight only affiliated and constituent colleges. And next important is enhanced participation of students and alumni. We used to take the feedback on teachers from the students in the institutions, but now this feedback is collected by the NAAC, and also the alumni, the enhanced participation of alumni will be there from 1st July 2017 onwards. Now there are quality indicator frameworks, as all of you may know. There are 1000 weightages, and curricular aspects weightage is 100, 4 key indicators, 11 metrics. Out of that, again it is divided as quantitative and qualitative. Teaching, learning and evaluation, 350 weightage, 7 key indicators, 16 metrics. Again it is divided qualitative, quantitative. Research, innovation and extensions, 120 for UG and PG and 110 for UG only. 5 key indicators for UG and PG and 4 for only UG, and 14 metrics for UG and PG and 11 metrics for only UG. Then infrastructure and learning resource, 100 weightage, key indicators 4 and matrices are 13. Again 13 is divided into quantitative and qualitative metrics. Student support and progression, weightage is 130 for UG and PG and 140 for UG only, and 4 key indicators and matrices are 30. Again they are divided into quantitative and qualitative. Governance, leadership and management, 100 weightage, 5 key indicators, again 16 matrices are divided into quantitative and qualitative. Then institutional values and best practices, last one, 100 weightage, 3 key indicators and 13 matrices. Again it is divided into quantitative and qualitative. In brief, total weightage is 1000 for affiliated and constituent colleges, 32 key indicators and 31 key indicators for only UG, and 96 matrices for UG and PG and 93 matrices for only UG. Now next part is eligibility for assessment and accreditation by NAAC. Who is eligible? Higher education institutions, HEIs, having 2 batches of students graduated or 60 years of existence of the institution whichever is earlier. The colleges or the universities which are in the second, third cycle, this will not apply. It is only for first cycle. Second one is affiliated colleges. College should be affiliated to a university recognized by University Grant Commission UGC. Next, accredited institutions apply for reassessment after a minimum of 1 year or before 3 years of accreditation. If a higher education institution is not happy with the grade given by the NAAC, then they go for reassessment after 1 year of declaring the result, but before 3 years of accreditation. And higher education institutions opting for subsequent cycle. We are now in the fourth cycle, that is the subsequent cycle, second, third, fourth of accreditation, should submit institutional information for quality assessment IIQA during last 6 months of the validity period. This was not there before 1st July 2017. They have introduced on 1st July 2017 this, and they have given time period 6 months before the expiry of the validity period. But now they have relaxed it 6 months before the expiry of the validity period. They have given now 6 months time, because last time it was the NAAC institution, the institutions going for the NAAC assessment, they have to go for the fourth quarter of the fifth cycle, but only 3 months time they have given. But now they have extended time given 6 months. This is because higher education institutions are facing examination, valuation, other things, and therefore they cannot complete within a period of 3 months. That's why they have introduced, they have increased 6 months from the before the validity period. Suppose if the institution is completing its 5 years, say in September 2021, then they have to start work from March 2021. That is 6 months early they have to start work of preparing IIQA and self-study report. NAAC accreditation does not cover distance education. All higher education institutions applying for NAAC need to mandatory upload the information on All India Survey on Higher Education portal, that is ISA portal. ISA number, ISA report should be there. Now, what is the assessment process? We would like to know the assessment process. The assessment comprises of three components, namely self-study report 65%, student satisfaction survey 5%, peer team report 30%. So 65 plus 5 plus 30, 100. Then self-study report has two kinds of metrics: facts and figures, quantitative matrix QNM. Facts and figures, quantitative matrix QNM, and descriptive responses, qualitative matrix QLM. The distribution of metrics and key indicators are as follows: criteria 7, key indicators 32 for UG and PG, 31 for UG, quantitative metrics 60 for UG and PG, 58 for UG only, and qualitative metrics 36 for UG and PG and 35 for UG only. So total metrics will be 96 and 93. 96 for UG and PG and 93 for UG only. This is applicable from 1st January 2020. Now, assessment process. What is the assessment process? Here, many higher education institutions fail in assessment process. Procedural details. Procedural details are very important nowadays. eligible higher education institutions seeking assessment and accreditation are required to submit IIQA online anytime during the year. Anytime during the year, first cycle you can submit. But for second, third, fourth subsequent cycle, you have to submit IIQA before, start preparing IIQA before the expiry of the validity period, that is 6 months earlier you have to start. And duly filled IIQA of eligible HEI will be accepted by the NAAC and will be communicated to HEI within 10 days. In case if the IIQA is rejected, the HEIs can resubmit twice after the first attempt. So this is important. I would like to highlight here. As guideline says, you have to start preparing IIQA and SSR 6 months earlier. But the thing is that if you prepare institutional information quality assessment, it is a 3 or 4 page report, and if you send to the NAAC, immediately the NAAC, from NAAC you will receive an email that you have to submit your SSR within 45 days. So what I suggest that you have to prepare IIQA, but don't submit. You have to submit only 45 days before the expiry of the NAAC. 45 days if you submit before the expiry, then the NAAC accepts, then immediately you will get a letter that within 45 days you have to submit the SSR. That means by the end of the 5 years period, you have to submit SSR along with IIQA. Already you have sent IIQA, but we have to send IIQA and SSR. But many times what happens here, the IIQA will not be accepted in the first attempt because some higher education institution doesn't give the ISA number or certain documents, so it will not be accepted. So therefore, if it doesn't it is not accepted by that. In case if the IIQA is rejected, the HEIs can resubmit after the first attempt. HEIs can resubmit twice after the first attempt. If first attempt failed, second we can submit. Again second we can submit next. So total 3 chances are given for the higher education institutions to submit IIQA. Suppose in the third attempt also IIQA is failed, then again you have to prepare IIQA and you have to pay a fresh fees for IIQA. So therefore care should be taken for submission of IIQA. That is institutional information for quality assessment. Then SSR has to be uploaded along with the IIQA and submitted online within 45 days after the acceptance of IIQA. When IIQA is accepted, within 45 days you have to submit the self-study report. On the NAAC portal on your website you will have 44 days remaining, 43 days remaining, like that. So there is alertness is given to higher education institution that this number of days are remaining. So therefore you should be very accurate in submitting that within 45 days. Now as indicated in SSR, as indicated in guidelines, SSR comprises 70% quantitative and 30% qualitative. As already I have told, HEI is securing 25% of the quantitative metrics, means it comes out to be 17.5, means 18 marks will qualify for on-site peer review or assessment. If a higher education institution does not score more than 18 marks, then it will not qualify for PAT visit. Again, you have to resubmit the self-study report. For few non-applicable metrics, now there are 96 matrices. Say out of 96, some matrices are not applicable to our institutions. In that case, the higher education can leave those matrices, that is called opt-out matrix. Opt-out matrix. So you can leave out of 1000, 30 marks you can leave. That means 3% you can leave the questions. That is called as opt-out matrix. But for opting out matrix, there are certain conditions. You can opt out matrices only from quantitative. You cannot opt out from qualitative matrix. One thing. Second thing is that you cannot opt out any matrix from criteria 1, 2, and 7. It is compulsory. You can opt out matrices only from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And in that, qualitative matrix cannot be opt out, only quantitative. And quantitative matrix identified as optional can only be opted out given in Appendix 4 of affiliated and constituent colleges. 14 matrices are given that you have to opt out. But condition is that maximum 30, each criteria 10. So 10, 10, 10, like that you can. Out of 4 matrices are 4th, 5th, 6th. Sorry, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. 4 key indicators are there. In that, 4 criteria are there. Out of that, you can opt out 30, maximum 30. Next, the data submitted on quantitative matrix will be subject to validation exercise. This is most important. When you submit the self-study report, the 70% data will be subject to the validation exercise. The response to qualitative matrix will be reviewed by the peer team on site. So we are worried about 70%. Now, what is that DVV? Data validation verification. Whatever data you upload to the NAAC, whether it is correct or not, if it is correct, it is signed by the competent authority or not, it will be checked. In case if the data is not signed by the competitive authority or it is not correct, then DVV asks a question to higher education institutions, that is called as DVV clarification. Likewise, so many questions will be asked to the higher education institutions, and then in a stipulated time of 10 to 15 days, the higher education institutions have to answer these questions to the NAAC along with the documentation. So in this way, the higher education institutions have to submit the fair documents. If any higher education institution submitting the wrong information, wrong data, will be asked for clarification, and if the clarification is not clear, their application for A and A may be rejected. Next, after getting the report from DVV, the peer team visit will take place, and it will be 30% on the qualitative matrix. So many higher education institutions nowadays, from 1st July 2017, they have scored less marks out of 70. They have scored good marks in 30, but they have scored less marks. This is because there is no awareness in higher education institutions. As I went for a PhD visit in Bihar, Patna, in the month of November, and that is one of the good college having 5,000 strength, but they are unaware of the documentation, and their grade was D grade with CGPA of 2.46. Even though they have done well in 30%, but they have done very poorly in 70% because they are not knowing which document has to be procured and which document has to be uploaded to the NAAC. So care should be taken. That's why this particular webinar is very important as far as the SOP and documentation is concerned. Then simultaneously, the DVV, data validation and verification, will conduct student satisfaction survey. Directly they will ask questions to the students. The higher education institutions should train the students about these questions 20 questions, objective questions, and 1 subjective questions, simple questions. They will be asked to the students and they have to answer. That means there are certain marks for that. 60 marks are allotted for student satisfaction survey, and it is conducted by DVV only. That is online, it is conducted. After this, DVV is over, student satisfaction survey is over. After this, peer team visit will take place for 2 days. However, the institution is big or small, more number of departments, less number of departments, only 2 days visit is there. And peer team will assess only the qualitative matrix. You are not supposed to worry about the quantitative matrix. Already quantitative matrix marks are given. But whatever the marks given on quantitative matrix, marks will be given by the software DVV. Those marks will be always passive. They are not active. And it is not known to NAAC members also, peer team members also. Nobody knows what marks the institution has get. And the marks will be active only when the peer team visit schedule takes place and peer team members submit their report. 30% weightage the marks are given, and when they submit the final report, then those marks will be active, and automatically 70 plus 30 total out of 100, this CGPA will be calculated. The software will calculate that. And next one is NAAC will not pre-disclose the details of peer team. NAAC will not tell you that who are the peer team members coming. They will send the letters to the peer team members 1 or more than 1 month earlier, but because they have to prepare the report and other things, 1 month early they send. But the higher education institutions where the peer team visit takes place, they will not be told. They will be told, the higher education institutions will be told about the peer team members only 3 working days before the visit, so that the higher education institutions can pick up the peer team members from the nearest airport. Then the responsibility is taken by logistics. The higher education institutions should not make the arrangement for their stay. Stay arrangement is made by the NAAC. Their travel, air ticket and other things will be made by the NAAC. You need not worry about that. Only thing is that you have to pick the members from the nearest airport and you have to send them to the nearest airport when the visit is over. This is that is called as responsibility is taken by logistics. Then the final result of assessment and accreditation system will be system generated score, SGS, which is a combination of qualitative and quantitative matrix. This will be compiled comprising information of the institution, criterion wise analysis based on peer evaluation, then presents an oral analysis of SOC, record of recommendations for quality enhancement of the institution. This is peer team report. Then system generated quality profile QIF, all 7 criteria. Then third one is institutional grade sheet. Institutional grade sheet based on qualitative and quantitative indicators and student satisfaction survey using existing calculation method, but it will be generated by a software. The above 3 parts, this is part 1, part 2, part 3, will together form the NAAC accreditation outcome. Now, calculation of CGPA, cumulative grade point average, will be calculated based on the scores obtained from SGS, system generated score of quantitative matrix, with SSR comprising 70% and total of the total, and peer team report qualitative comprises about 30%. It is calculated CGPA, cumulative grade point value, 4-point scale. 4-point scale means 100 divided by 25 is 4. If you multiply 25 to your CGPA, then you will get the percentage. That is the method, American method. After assessment, the cumulative grade point average of the institution is computed by the software. Then subsequent cycle of accreditation, second, third, fourth, fifth cycle of accreditation, there is special things to be added here. Special precautions we have to take. In the SSR, the institutions opting for subsequent cycle of accreditation need to highlight the quality sustenance. Quality sustenance in the last 5 years and years, and what are the enhancement measures you have taken in the last 5 years. It should not exceed more than 10 pages. And next one is a functional IQAC, internal quality assurance cell, and timely submission of AQAR are the minimum institutional requirements to volunteer for second, third, fourth cycle of accreditation. So these are the two things required for the subsequent cycle, second, third, fourth, etc. Now these are the fees. It is there given in the guidelines. I will not highlight about this. Then preparation of self-study report. Self-study report. This is very important. Data requirements for self-study report, SSR. The various data required for filling up the online format of self-study report are as follows. Number 1, executive summary. Number 2, profile of the affiliated college. Number 3, quality indicator framework. Number 4, data templates and documents. Now, what is executive summary? Every institution applying for A and A process shall prepare an executive summary highlighting the main features of the institution. In that, introductory note of the institution, location, vision, mission, goals, type of the institution, etc. hardly 2 pages. Criteria wise summary 10 pages, 7 criteria are there, so maximum 10 pages. And SOC analysis 2 pages. Any additional information if HAIs would like to highlight, the HAI can make it. And this executive summary should not exceed more than 20 pages roughly, or 5,000 words. It should be within 5,000 words. It should not be more than 5,000 words. Then this is the profile of the institution. The institution has to fill name and address, communication status, source of funding, date of establishment, affiliating university, UGC 2A 12B, campus area and location, programs offered, new programs introduced, list of departments, number of teaching and non-teaching posts, qualification of teaching staff, visiting faculty, number of students enrolled in the last 4 years, SC, ST, OBC, and students enrolled in the current year, unit cost of education, date of previous accreditation, date of establishment IQAC, details of submission of AQAR. The higher education institutions going for the subsequent cycle should necessarily submit all the AQR's annual quality assurance report of all the 4 years. Total 5 years are there as per the NAAC. Minimum 4 AQR should be submitted. Then they will accept the self-study report. Now, the most important is the standard operating procedures for DVV and affiliated colleges. As already I have told you that the IIQA also requires document, and all 7 criteria also requires documents, and therefore what documents are required, that we have to see. And this was launched on 13th of February 2020. Earlier we are having SOP old format, but this is the new format, 13th February 2020. The first one in that, NAAC Higher Education Institution portal supports only 5 MB data. For each matrix, there are 96 matrix are there, and out of 96, we have to fill the data for only 60 quantitative. We are not concerned with qualitative as far as the this standard operating procedure is there. So each metric will take 5 Mbp data. If the attachment exceeds 5 MB, provide link in the template HEI DVV clarification response. You have to provide the link. This is the first thing important. Second, data supporting document provided over Google Drive. You should not keep the data on the Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Amazon Cloud, or any third party will not be considered for DVV. DVV will not take the data on these, as already I mentioned. The next one is, it is mandatory to fill the templates in the format provided. It is mandatory to fill the templates in the format provided by NAAC and attach the same in SSR. HAIs are not supposed to alter the templates. Whatever the templates given, we should not alter. We have to fill the data. Supporting documents you have to attach. Then next, it is mandatory to respond to all the DVV. Suppose there are 60 metrics. DVV questions may be more than 60. If more DVV questions are asked to higher education institutions, then it is very difficult to compile within a period of 15 days. So you should get less number of DVV clarification. That means your SSR is having a strength. As already I have told, I went to BR, Patna College, Mahila Vidyalaya, Patna. Their DVV questions are 177 and they are unable to answer within a stipulated time, and thereby they scored very less marks. Then next one, once the data is uploaded, the links are submitted to NAAC. And once you submit link to NAAC, changes are not permissible. Further, the institution should ensure that links are working properly and are operational. Many times links are not working or they are not operational. In that case, the NAAC is not responsible for that. So we have to give this concept to a computer expert in the institution. The next one is supporting document in regional languages. In many, in Karnataka, in Kannada documents are there, in Maharashtra, Marathi, in Gujarat, in Gujarati language, all regional documents are there. This regional language document should be translated in English. It is translated in English and should be duly signed by the head of the institution. Signature of the head of the institution and IQAC coordinator is essential. Along with the translated copy should be uploaded along with the regional language documents. So we have to submit. If it is in Kannada or Marathi or Gujarati, whatever it is there, translated copy and original regional copy should be sent to the NAAC. This is the condition they have given. Then all supporting documents submitted along with SSR and additional documents during DVV clarification process, all documents should be signed by the competent authority. For example, suppose you are having a BOS members in your institution 6 and you submit only 4 letters from the university, 4 letter concerning to 4 BOS members, then actually you are written 6 and you have submitted 4. So DVV asks a clarification that you have submitted 6 but only data is 4. You have to clarify within a stipulated time. This is one thing. Another thing, suppose you have submitted 6 BOS, one example I mean, 6 BOS documents, but 5 documents are signed, 1 document is not signed. So DV will ask that you have sent 6, you have written number 6, For 5 documents are signed, 1 document is not signed, clarify. Like that, it will be asked in DVV, data validation and verification. Then all photography are taken. All photography are taken with geo-tagged camera. This is applicable from 1st January 2020. Geo-tagged camera, so that where the event is going on that place, you will have entries in longitude and latitude, and this longitude and latitude will determine the location in which the photos were taken. So geo-tagged photography. So photographer should be asked that geo-tagged photography. So on that photography, latitude is there, longitude is there, time is there, date is there, everything is there. So this is compulsory. Geo-tagged photos are taken. Then the higher education institutions are having a confusion about programs, courses, etc. So in SOP they have given a guidelines. What is the program? BA Economics, History, Social Science, Sociology is a program. BSc say Physics, Chemistry, Mathematics is a program. BSc BSc Chemistry, honor Chemistry, that is also program. MSc Maths, MCom, MA English, MPhil Statistics, PhD Physics, like that, these are programs. Then what is a course? A course is a paper or subject with a specified number of credits or hours in a formal program. For example, organic chemistry, solid state physics, Indian history, English, Hindi, Kannada, etc. under BSc, BA, BCom, BCA, BBA, MA, MSc, MCom programs. So this is the course. And gender equity. So many higher education institutions, they are having a problem. What is a gender equity? They have defined gender equity is a fairness treatment for women and men in terms of rights, benefits, obligations and opportunities. So these are the SOPs they have given out, standard operating process, standard operating procedures. They have given, you have to follow the standard operating procedures, and then there are standard operating procedures for every criteria also. Now first we have to take extended profile of the institution. Now this they have introduced recently, last year they have introduced this extended profile of the institution. This is only one page. Program, number of courses offered, students, number of students, reserve category students, finalist students, academic, number of full-time teachers, sanctioned posts, institutions, number of classrooms, seminar halls, total expenditure excluding salary component and number of computers. Now here in the extended profile, suppose if you write number of courses BA, history, economics, political science, like that, if you write only, it doesn't work out. You require supporting documents. Supporting documents are there. What type of documents are there? I will tell. Students also, number of students for that document. Academic also documents required. Institution also documents required. Now this is the extended profile. Now this is very important. Now I would like to tell one important thing is that in higher education institutions, there is a IQAC Coordinator and there are 7 criteria. 7 criteria are given to 7 faculty members, and also there are other faculty members in every criteria. So data are collected from every 7 criteria, sometimes differs. So when you send the data, computers gets confused which data you have to accept. So therefore, extended profile data will be standard data. It will serve as denominators for all calculations. So data put on the extended profile must be very careful, and you have to check the data on the extended profile and data in the all the 7 criteria should match. But sometimes it doesn't match, then extended profile data will be taken under consideration. So this care should be taken. Now SOP for extended profile. What are standard operating procedure for extended profile? Now, as already I have told, metric number 1.1, number of courses offered during last 5 years. Last 5 years, you have to count last 5 years. Number of courses in each program. For example, BSc is a program, physics, chemistry, mathematics. So there are 3 courses: physics, chemistry, mathematics. BA, history, economics, political science. Likewise, you have to have the number of courses in each programs. For example, if you are having 10 courses, then 10 documents should be there. If you are having 20 courses, then the document should be there. Document should be signed by IQAC coordinator and principal. It is better to have both signatures, because sometimes in scanning purpose, if one of the signatures is missing, at least another signature is there to IQAC coordinator and principal signature, or vice principal and principal signature, or HOD and principal signature is necessary. So all documents should be in such a way that it should be signed by the competent authority, and if it is in a regional language, it is translated in English, and also it is signed by the competent authority. Both the regional language document and the English translated document should also be signed by the competent authority. Now, number of programs offered year-wise for the last 5 years. First year, second year, third year, year-wise list of programs during the assessment period. How many programs? For example, BSc, we are having 3 programs: physics, PCM, CBZ, PMCS. 3 programs are there. For arts, we are having 5. So 3 plus 5, 8. Commerce 1. So total 9. So you will have a document of all the 9 programs that they require. If you write 9 documents should be there. Document should be signed by the competitive authority. This is the document required, and therefore document should be procured properly, signed, it should be checked. Then 2.1, number of students year wise for the last 5 years. Which number of students we have to take? Year wise list of students approved by the university. Year wise, every year, suppose 16-17, total number of students on rolls across all the programs, first year, second year, third year. Suppose if the total strength of the college is 1200, this should match with 1200, and whatever 1200 you have written in extended profile, that should match. So first year, second year, third year. Now students on rolls during the odd semester only. Some students join in the odd first semester and they leave in the second semester. We have to take only on the odd semester. We need not take for both the semesters. So odd semester you should take. So year-wise list of students approved by the university, first year, second year, third, fourth year list. The list of students signed by IQAC coordinator or vice principal, it will be signed, and document should be scanned and kept on your website. And at the time of submission of self-study report, it is very easy. Because if you start preparing this at the time of submission of self-study report, it takes a lot of time. Like that, in the previous 3-4 years, you have to do this procedure and keep on your website. And don't send it to the NAAC. This is important. Then number of seats earmarked for reserve categories year-wise. Year-wise, reservation policy of the government, either state government or central government. If a state government is there, reservation policy, that policy letter should be there. Reservation policy of the government, program-wise authenticated by the admission authority. Admission to only first year class of all programs to be considered. Only for first year. Part 1 BCom, BSc, BA, and Part 1 MA, MSc, MCom. Reservation policy. Reservation policy of the government, for example, Karnataka government, there are 50% reserved for general category, 15% for SC, 3% for ST, then category 1, 4%, then category 2A, 15%, 2B, 4%, 3B, 4%, like that. total 50% general, 50% reservation. That sheet should be authenticated by the IQAC coordinator and the principal, and the number of seats reserved, year marked, that calculation, that sheet should be there. That is the document required here. Now the next one is number of outgoing final year students year wise during the last 5 years. Outgoing students. Outgoing students means some institutions will take the pass out students. Don't worry about that. Only students admitted to the final year you have to take. Students admitted to the final year study of all the programs for all the assessment year should be taken. That is number. Number should be there. That is the document. Suppose 300 students are there in the final year students. That 300 only, not total. Because outgoing students, not part 1, part 2, only final year students. Final year degree and final year PG students, that should be taken. Some higher education institutions will send the list of all the students. That is not required. Then the number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years. List of full-time teachers. Now, here the NAAC is specified in the guidelines that full-time teacher, he may be temporary, or he may be appointed by the management, or he should be appointed by the state government or central government. Number of full-time teacher. Who is a full-time teacher? Who takes 16 hours of work for arts, commerce and mathematics, and 20 hours of work for science subjects, laboratory, wherever laboratory is. That is the guidelines. And you know, in our state, whatever, in every state, whatever is there, that is the full-time teachers. List of all the full-time teachers. Some higher education institutions send only list of permanent teachers. It is not required. You have to send the list of permanent teachers and teachers appointed by the management or teachers appointed by the government on temporary basis. That also you can submit. List of full-time teachers year-wise. Now, full-time teachers with minimum 90% of normal hours. For example, if 20 hours are mentioned for physics and 16 hours are mentioned for history, and if a teacher takes only 18 hours, workload is 18 hours, then he or she will be treated as full-time. And out of 16, 14 hours are there, he also treated as a full-time. But out of 16 hours of work, if he or she takes only 10 hours, it is treated as part-time or ad hoc. It is not included. It is given part-time, ad hoc or visiting are not included in this. So, the number of full-time teachers year-wise, this is essential. Many higher education institutions are sending only the permanent teachers, thereby their student-teacher ratio will be very high. So don't do it. You have to take full-time teachers. The number of sanctioned posts year-wise during the last 5 years. So here also there is a confusion in the higher education institutions. That is what document required? Official sanction letter from the government, board of management during the assessment year. For example, suppose in an institution there are 60 faculty required, but out of 60, government has sanctioned 40. Government has sanctioned 40 only. But out of that, government has filled only 20. Only 20. So you have to show that 20 are filled by the government out of 40, and remaining 20 are filled by the management. And still then 60 is there, 20 faculty is required by the, because of excess divisions in the unaided section, and that has also been filled by the management or government, whatever it may be. Total 60 full-time teachers are there or not, and you have to check it and you have to give like this. Suppose out of 60 only 55 is there, mention 55 only, send the documents 55 only. But here part-time is not considered, ad hoc is not considered, visiting is not considered. So this should be clarified. So therefore sanctioned post, this document is required. Now for government sanction letter from the government, for management management, board of management letter is there, sanctioned by the management, and board of management sanction letter because of excess of workload in a particular year, that should be there. This is the idea about the number of sanction post year wise. Then last one, fourth one, total number of classrooms and seminar halls. Last time, before 1st July, we used to give number, but nowadays we have to give correct number, total number of classrooms and seminar halls. For example, in your institution, you are having 30 classrooms. Out of 30, 28 are classrooms and 2 are seminar halls. That you have to mention list of number of classrooms and seminar hall. Total number of classrooms 30. Out of that, 28 are classrooms and 2 are seminar halls. And this document is geo-tagged photo of classrooms. So you have to take the geo-tag photo of all the classrooms, 30 classrooms. That is 28 classrooms and 2 seminar halls. That geo-tagged, if you take photo, then it will give longitude and latitude. So it will determine the place where the place is there. And you have to write the caption, lecture hall number 1, lecture hall number 2, seminar hall number 1, seminar hall number 2. And in that, laboratories and workshops are not to be considered. We should not take laboratories and workshop for this purpose. Next one is total expenditure excluding salary component year wise during last 5 years. Audited statement of accounts signed by the principal and CA. So you have to show total expenditure excluding salary component for each year signed by the principal and CA. This document is there in every institution. Then total number of computers in the campus for academic programs. So here, suppose if an institution having 200 computers, then we should have stock register extract or invoice copy duly certified. Here we have to exclude the computers used for administration purpose. For example, if the institution is having 200 computers, 5 computers are used in the office and another 5 computers are used in the department. So we have to show only 190 computers used for academic programs. Remaining 10 are used for administrative purposes. So here this record is required. Stock register extract, invoice copy duly certified. This is about the extended profile, that is standard operating procedure for extended profile. Now the last part remaining is the criteria 1, quality indicator framework. Quality indicator framework given below represents metrics under each key indicator for all 7 criteria. Now here, qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics. Now I will just go through the first criteria, that is criteria and key indicators. First is curricular aspects. I will cover curricular aspects today, and tomorrow we will cover the remaining 4 key indicators. Now remaining 4 criteria. Now today curricular aspects. First, curricular planning and implementation. Just I will highlight very shortly about this, and I will go detail especially with SOP. Curricular planning and implementation. There are 3 metrics here: effective curriculum delivery, QLM. This is qualitative. You have to give description of 500 words. Here SOP doesn't give anything for you preparation. You have to prepare yourself. The institution adheres to academic calendar, including the conduct of continuous internal examination. So these 2 are qualitative metrics. So how you have to write the qualitative metrics? In brief, you have to write, as the college is affiliated to XYZ University, and the curriculum is designed by the university. Every year we receive the curriculum syllabus, and the syllabus is distributed to the HOD. HOD in turn distributes syllabus to their respective faculty members, and teaching plan is prepared in which month what topics to be covered. That is the effective curriculum delivery, how it is covered, whether it is covered or not. It is checked by the HOD and head of the institution. That explanation you have to give. So SOP doesn't give any idea about 1.1, 1.11, 1.12. Institution adheres to academic calendar including the conduct of CEE. Then teachers in BOS, Board of Studies, Academic Council, setting up of question papers, design of curriculum and evaluation process of university. There are options given. Then next one is academic flexibility. Academic flexibility, percentage of CBCS elective courses implemented, number of add-on certificate programs, average percentage of students in certificate and add-on courses. These are the matrices for the academic flexibility key indicator. Then curriculum enrichment, cross-cutting issues relevant to gender, environment, human values, ethics, etc. Average percentage of courses that include experimental learning through project work, field work, internship, percentage of students in project work, field work, internship, etc. And fourth one is feedback system, feedback on syllabus by students, teachers, employers and alumni, and feedback process. Feedback collected, analyzed, action taken, available on website. Feedback collected, analyzed, action taken, feedback collected and analyzed, feedback collected and feedback not collected. So these is the first criteria, that is curricular aspects. Now last part is standard operating procedures, SOP for criteria and matrix. I will cover only first curricular aspects. Now here SOP only quantitative metrics are concerned. Qualitative metrics, SOP doesn't have any rules and regulations. SOP only for quantitative metrics. Now 1.13 matrix number. Teachers of the institution participate in AC, Academic Council, Board of Studies, question paper setting, design of curriculum, development and evaluation process during the last 5 years. What are the documents required? Letter from the affiliating university indicating membership on BOS, Academic Council, question paper setting, design of curriculum and evaluation valid for the assessment year. This is valid only for the last 5 years assessment year. Here note, appointment letters of valuation, practical exam, viva wise examination can be considered. Only letters from the affiliating university are considered. Only affiliating university, not other than the affiliating university are considered. So affiliating university will be considered. So these are the documents. Suppose if 6 BOS members are there, then 10 people are going for question paper setting and curriculum design of curriculum 4 members and evaluation 15 members. All these documents should be scanned. First it will be signed by the computer terminal, scanned and kept on your website, and at the time of submission to NAAC in the form of SSR, their documents will be ready. So what I advise to higher education institution, last 2-3 years all the documents should be kept on your website. So at the time of preparing self-study report, you will have time to think and prepare the best quality of self-study report. So this is the first one. Then second one is percentage of programs offered in CBCS, choice-based credit system, elective courses implemented year-wise for the last 5 years. Choice-based credit system or elective courses. Now, what documents required? List of programs offered in CBCS, elective courses implemented year-wise for last 5 years. Suppose in a college there are BA, BSc, BCom, MA, MSc, MCom, 6 programs are there. Out of 6, 3 are CBCS, then percentage is 50%. Corresponding document should be there. Then implementation of CBCS letters from the university, minutes of the meeting in the university that is required. Next one, number of add-on certificate programs offered during the last 5 years. Details such as name of the program, which program you are taken. For example, in commerce, Tally ERP you are taken. For physics, you have taken mobile repairing course. For arts, you have taken translation. Like that, the name of the program. Duration must be minimum 30 hours, not less than 30 hours. List of students, how many students list is there. Then list of students enrolled. Curriculum, what is the syllabus for that. And assessment procedure, how you assess the students admitted into certificate program. That is required. Then summary report of each program year-wise. Suppose in the first year we are having 4 certificate courses. All these reports should be there, summary report, and it should be signed by the competent authority. Now next, what precaution you have to take? The program of minimum 30 hours duration. If the program of 20 or 25 hours is there, it will not be accepted by the software. Software will not accept it. Minimum 30 hours duration. Avoid programs conducted under regular university curriculum. The syllabus should be other than the regular university syllabus. That these 2 conditions should be satisfied by the higher education institutions. The next, average percentage of students enrolled in certificate add-on programs as against the total number of students during the last 5 years. Now just see contradictory two key indicators. There are contradictory. So because here more number of certificates, less number of students, or less number of certificates, more number of students, or more number of certificate courses, more number of students. So in the second, year-wise list of students enrolled in program, year-wise. Then the DVV may ask certificates of random selected students and their attendance. Data validation verification. Now here comes the benchmarking. Now benchmark is hidden. NAAC has certain benchmark, this much of certificate course, this much of marks, that they are having benchmark. But what is that benchmark? We don't know, we don't have idea. So therefore you should have the number of certificates is total number of students according to these key indicators. Then next one is average percentage of courses that include experimental learning through project work. Experimental learning means not practicals. Project work is there, field work is there, internship is there, then that is called as experimental learning. Here, document showing the experimental learning through the project. If you have conducted project in an industry, sugar factory you are conducting, or a spinning mill you are conducting a program, or internship prescribed by the affiliating university. That document showing the experimental learning through project work, internship prescribed by the affiliating university. Then only courses having project work, internship as per the affiliating university. Only courses having project work, internship as per the affiliating university. That should be taken. The next one is percentage of students undertaking project work, field internship. Data you have to say. Not all the percentage they have asked. List of students undertaking the field projects, internship along with the details such as title, place, work, etc. Suppose if 1200 students are there, 200 students have gone for the field work and internship. 200 divided by 1200 percentage you have to calculate. Project work internship completion certificate from the organization where the project is completed along with the duration, where the project work is carried out in the same place or somewhere, that should be there. Then report of field visit, photographs of field visit, permission letter from the competent authority will be considered. Here the photograph should be geo-tagged photo. Suppose you are conducting this at a different place, so in the photograph latitude and longitude will determine the place. One student involved in multiple field work should be counted as one. The same student work is involved in 3-4 field works, then it will be considered as only one. Next, the last one is feedback on syllabus by students, teachers, employers, alumni during the last 5 years. So many higher education institutions get confused that this is the feedback on the syllabus, not the feedback on the teachers. Feedback from the students on the teachers will be collected by the NAAC Student Satisfaction Survey. But this feedback is on the syllabus or on the curriculum. Then when we have to take the about the syllabus on the students. A syllabus feedback on the syllabus from the students anytime you can take, from teachers also you can take, from employers. Wherever the employer is there, but he is attached to an institution, wherever he comes to the college you can take. At the time of alumni meeting also you can take. If alumni are there, at the time of alumni meeting you take about the syllabus. Then sample filled in feedback. Suppose you have taken teachers, 20 teachers feedback is taken, and 50 students feedback is taken, 10 employers is taken, and 15 alumni feedback is taken. Then sample filled in feedback forms from the stakeholder. Provide 3 field forms, 3 from students, 3 from teachers, 3 from employers, and 3 from alumni. You have to scan it, upload to the NAAC. If they are having a doubt about a particular feedback, then they may ask randomly some feedbacks. Then you can send in DVV. But this is the document required for metric details. Now here the feedback taken, analyzed, it is kept on the website. All these things should be carried out properly, and then supporting document should be there. Many higher education institutions, they take only feedback kept in the file. So feedback is taken, it is analyzed, action taken, and is available on the website. Like that, you can have the, as per the NAAC guidelines, you can have this, and you have to have procure the documents. So these are the documents required for criteria 1. Now in extended profile or in criteria 1, if some documents are not signed or not proper documents, then data validation and verification will ask you clarification that you have to send these documents within a stipulated time. So therefore, if the documentation is made as per SOP, then you should have less number of DVV questions. So in that stipulated time, you can answer it, and your self-study report will be very good, and you can score more marks as far as this is concerned. But many higher education institutions are suffering because they are not properly uploading the documents. So if you prepare documents now only, all the remain all the years that have been passed earlier, 3 years or 4 years, you have to prepare the documents, keep on your website. At the time of self-study report, you can upload to the NAAC. And this is the procedure for SOP for criteria 1. So already this time is over, and remaining criteria I will cover tomorrow. And any queries, questions, you can ask. Okay, thank you. Your website, at the time of self-study report, you can upload the NAAC. And this is the procedure for SOP for criteria 1.
Hello, friends. Now, question answer session will begin. There are a few questions in the chat box. I will take up one by one, and our honorable person will be answering those questions. The first question is from Dr. Savita Desai. Her question is, what about the environmental science subject? Will it be considered as course?
Yes, it will be considered. It will be considered as a course. Course means it is a subject. Course means it's a subject. It will be considered. It will be considered. But it should be approved by the university, madam. It should be approved by the university. It will be considered.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, two participants, Dr. Pitambar Patil and Dr. Savita Desai, have similar question on feedback on curricular aspects.
Feedback on?
Curricular aspects.
Okay.
There is a question.
Yes.
Should be taken from all course students or final year students? Please let us inform. And related question is there any requirement of percentage of total students submitting the feedback on syllabus?
Okay. Hello. You can take feedback from students of part 1, part 2, part 3. Any students from any class, UG or PG. There is no fixed rule as such how many you have to take feedbacks. Now, here question is, you have to take feedback on the syllabus by students, teachers, employers and alumni. Now, you have to collect the feedback as you require. Not necessary that you have to take feedback of all the students. It is very heavy on the part of the institutions. And once you collect feedback, you have to analyze it. Suppose if 50 students feedback is taken, you have to analyze it. Because you are taking 50 on first year, second year again you are taking 50 or 60 like that, the number will be very, very large. You will analyze. Action taken, what action you have taken. Action taken in the sense, students say that this syllabus is very heavy, syllabus is not competent. Action taken means you have sent any letter to the university or any, and it is available on the website. As according to the guidelines, they have given that 3 sample forms are uploaded to the NAAC. 3 sample forms. So there is no such rule, but according to me, a minimum 50 feedback from students, minimum 30 from teachers, and from well-wishers or employers, you can take about 30 or so every year, and alumni, some 30 like that. You can take it like that. Not necessary because the number will be very large. If you take 50 in 1 year, it will be 200 like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Now the next question by Dr. T. Jivan Kumar.
Yes.
His question is it mandatory to get approval from BOS or employer if we want to run a certificate course?
Yes, yes, this is good question. For certificate courses, as far as certificate course is concerned, some universities, they are having a syllabus for the certificate course. But some universities, they don't have idea about the certificate course. If the permission you can take, if the certificate courses are there in your university, if they are not there in your university, for example, I will tell our university, Rani Chennamma University, the university is not accredited. University is not accredited, they don't have idea about certificate course. So we have to have our own certificate course. And wherever recognized certificate courses are there in the university, you have to take permission. And other than required, you have to take permission from the university.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. There is one more question
Yes.
and last question.
Okay.
It's from backward.
Yes.
This question is, the project work recommended by the university as part of the syllabus,
Yes.
are they considered or not?
Yes. The project work or field work recognized by the university, and if they give the syllabus for that, it is recognized. It is recognized. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now,
Still more questions are there. You can ask me later on tomorrow. Okay.
yes, sir. Tomorrow also, there are
Yes.
participants are also.
Yes.
May I ask the question?
Okay, so
Thank you.
friends,
Let us move to the second session. Before starting the second session, I would like to introduce the next resource person, a distinguished Dr. Shirish Shitole. It's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to introduce him to the gathering. Friends, Dr. Shirish Kashinath Shitole is an IQAC member, formerly IQAC Coordinator, and is working in Mahavir College, Mahavir Mahavidyalaya, Kolhapur. He is a versatile personality. He has taken multiple degrees in multiple subjects. He has done MA in clinical psychology. He has done another MA in industrial psychology. He is basically a diploma engineer, electrical engineer. Then later on, he did PhD in competency building module for class 1 public services examination. He is assistant professor in psychology, working in Mahavir Mahavidyalaya, Kolhapur since 2002. His working experience consists 18 years at UG level and 14 years at PG level. He has been a mentor for quality enhancement of students. First, he is a coordinator. Earlier, he was coordinator IQAC, and currently he is a mentor of IQAC team in Mahavir Mahavidyalaya Mahavir. He is in charge of career development unit, in charge of counseling unit, and in charge of Pradnya Samvardhan unit. His professional experience includes that as an electrical engineer, he has been associated with In-Cab Industries Pune, Pune Udyog Private Limited, Pune. Number 2, he has worked as a resource expert, trainer and counselor for Jnana Prabodhini Competitive Examination Center, Pune, Pradnyavardhini Competitive Examination Center, Pune, SSB Training Cell Engineering College, Arjunnagar. Then he has worked as a resource psychologist and trainer for Newspaper in Education NI project, Sakal Papers Limited, Pune. Then Lions International Branch, Kolhapur. He has also worked as resource psychologist for Child and Youth Personality Development Project, CYDP, for Tata Group and Jnana Prabodhini Psychological Research Institute. Then he has been a team member of pilot project for raising 33,000 tribal families above poverty line sustainability. He is associated with BAIF Pune and CEC Europe. He has been worked as a resource expert, trainer and counselor for Deval Club Kolhapur and Tushar Bhadre Drama School, Satara. Then he has been a concept designer and mentor for Urja URJA CBSE School, Firodia Group of Schools, Ahmednagar. He has published some 75 articles, more than 75 articles, and I would not go into the details of his publications, but just I will mention a few ones. His 15 research papers are published in renowned journals. He contributed as resource person, academic sessions expert, etc. in national and international conferences. His publications include, only a few ones I will highlight: MPSC Mitra, published by Jnana Prabodhini Pune, chapters on study and temperament management for competitive examinations. Then On career, he has published a chapter on careers through competitive examinations and mental preparation for it. Then in Samatol Diwali issue, he has published Face of Rural Youth in Higher Education. So in this way, he has published many articles in newspapers and journals. He has delivered a number of talks and he has given interviews on multimedia, many expert interviews on socio-economic, educational and psychological issues on many audio-visual platforms such as Sahyadri Vahini, Doordarshan, Kolhapur, Pune, Mumbai, Akashvani, then talk series on Tomato FM, Facebook live talks, Zoom and Google Meet. He has delivered a number of public speeches. The number is quite astounding. He has delivered more than 750 speeches till date on the following areas: preparation for competitive examination, career opportunities and development, students' problems and counseling, personality development, team building, leadership development, communication skills and soft skills, contemporary socio-economic issues. With this brief introduction, I would like to invite Dr. Shirish Shitole sir to begin his deliberations on a criterion 2 with particular emphasis on POs, PSOs and COs. Dr. Shirish Shitole sir, please. Yes, sir is sharing his screen with PPT, with his PPT. So let us wait for a few seconds.
यस मैम, मुझे शेयर का परमिशन नहीं मिल रहा है। या मैडम, माय पीपीटी इज सीन और नॉट? Okay, then PPT sharing. Now, is it okay? Yes, I am clicking it, but then here present window, present screen, then share. Yes. But here the share is not available. It is in gray shade. It is not in blue shade. हाँ, निळ्या कलरचं येत नाही, ते कॅन्सल निळ्या कलरचं येते, शेअर ग्रे कलरचं आहे. प्रेझेंट नाव केल्यानंतर जे येतं ना त्यात युअर एंटायर स्क्रीन घेतलं हा की पुढे शेअर आणि कॅन्सल दोन आहेत. तर त्यातलं शेअर जे आहे ते ब्ल्यू होत नाहीये, ते ग्रेच आहे. कॅन्सल ब्ल्यू आहे, त्यामुळे शेअर येत नाहीये. स्क्रीनवर जे शेअर येतंय ना ते ग्रे शेड मध्ये आहे, म्हणजे त्याला क्लिक केलं तर क्लिक होत नाही. कॅन्सलला क्लिक केलं की होत आहे. तो शेअर परमिशन तिकडून येत नाहीये. मग आता मला गुगलवर सगळं दिसतं आहे. आता इथे प्रेझेंट व्ह्यू म्हटलं सर की प्रेझेंट व्ह्यू म्हटलं की युअर एंटायर स्क्रीन क्लिक करायची, राईट. मग आता ही स्क्रीन समोर आली माझी. तुम्हाला दिसते का स्क्रीन माझी? आपली गुगल मीटची स्क्रीन मिनिमाइज करू. हा आणि केली. आणि आता पॉवर पॉइंट ऑन करू का? स्क्रीन शेअरिंग ऑन करायला तेच म्हणतोय की इथे स्क्रीन शेअर म्हणून येते, पण तो ग्रे आहे, त्यामुळे त्याच्यावर क्लिक केल्यावर काहीच होत नाहीये. हा एक मिनिट आता पहा. आता आलं का? यायला ओके ओके. आता मिनिमाइज करून स्क्रीन घेऊ ना. आली का स्क्रीन? ओके. बघा आता. होय 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 आधी. अच्छा एक मिनिट, लगेच पीपीटी ओपन करतो. पहा. अच्छा, कारण इथे मला शेअरिंग दिसतंय, शेअरिंग विंडो म्हणून दिसतंय. मिनिमाइज करून पीपीटी ओपन करू. हा ही पीपीटी ओपन केली आहे मी, तुम्हाला दिसत नाहीये म्हणताय. आता काय करू सांगा? पीपीटी क्लोज करून पुन्हा ओपन करू. कारण मला इथे पीपीटी शेअरिंग करतोय म्हणून पण मेसेज येतोय खाली. पीपीटी काय करू, तुम्हाला मेल करू? चालेल, मी लगेचच मेल करतो पीपीटी. हा एकच मिनिटात. मॅडमचा मला गुगल मीटचा मेल जो आहे त्यालाच करतो, लगेचच करतो. मी पीपीटी आणि एक्सेल शीट जो आहे फॉर्मॅटचा स्टँडर्ड, ते दोन्ही तुम्हाला मेल केले, सेंड केलं. पहा मॅडम, मेसेज आला पहा तुम्हाला पीपीटीचा एक्सेलचा. दोन्ही ओपन करून ठेवा. हा म्हणजे पाहिजे तेव्हा पाहिजे ते वापरता येईल. येते का सर? ओके ओके. माझं प्रेझेंटिंग बंद करू? ओके, स्टॉप शेअरिंग करतो. ओके. हा. पीपीटी याच्यावर का स्क्रीनवर? हा, दिसतोय मला. ओके, चालेल चालेल सर. ओके ओके. हा, आणि ती दुसरी एक्सेल शीट पण दिली आहे, ती पण ओपन करून ठेवा. लागेल तेव्हा ती पण आपल्याला स्क्रीनवर घेता येईल. ओके सर. ओके, सुरू करू. Hello, good afternoon everyone. Honorable President, Vice President, Principal Sir, IQAC team member, Dr. Kothare Sir, and all my friends and delegates. I am very thankful that Devchand College has given me an opportunity to share my views with you about criteria 2. And as we all know, and our first speaker Kothare sir told us, the standard operating procedures and new changes in NAAC accreditation process. Actually, I am very happy that sir has given so excellent lecture, and few of my work is now minimized, or we can say I don't require any repetition for it. So let us see criteria number 2. Next PPT. Yeah. So this is criteria number 2, teaching, learning and evaluation, and we are trying to see the documentation process and standard operating procedure. Next. In this session, I will just give you brief outline and sequence of the slides. The first one is standard operating procedure for NAAC accreditation, important tips for SSR. There are only 2 sides, but as sir has covered all these sides, so we will take less time for it. Then key indicators for criteria 2, 1 slide. Then we will move in the following sequence. First, we will see 2.7 student satisfaction survey, 1 slide. Then we will see 2.3 teaching learning process, 4 slides. Then 2.5 and 2.6 student evaluation, performance, learning outcomes and reforms, 1 slide. And last one, which will be focused in a major way in this session, is program outcome, program specific outcome and course outcome, and there are total 8 slides. Next, as sir has told us just now, qualitative matrix and quantitative matrix. Of course, we have to keep all these data ready beforehand, and then start SSR process. And here, if we see this qualitative matrix, NAAC has given us clear word limit and asked us to follow it strictly. So be brief, explicate highlights, don't waste words on frill details. And there are few areas where there is no standard method, or there is no any standard template given either by NAAC or even given by universities. So these details are to be prepared by the institute itself. And this is the area in this criteria: course outcomes, program specific outcomes, compiled reports from various minutes and analysis of feedback, etc., etc. We have to prepare these things for ourselves. Next. So here, NAAC has given certain tips. So wherever the financial related data is asked, we have to take the financial year, preceding financial year. Suppose, for example, if we are writing a report in October 2020, then we have to take the preceding financial year, 1st April to 31st March 2020. And we have to fill those information for financial aspect. For publication related data, we have to take calendar year from 1st January to 31st December only. So even if we are writing in October 20, we have to take 1st January to 31st December 2019. That is the year for publication related details. For wherever the requirement of current year data is concerned, then we have to take the last completed academic year data, that is June to April. And for others, again we have to take the same academic year data, completed year data. So we have to keep these things in mind while filling the SSR. Next. Now see, criterion 2, teaching, learning and evaluation. Out of 1000 marks, 350 marks are given for this criterion. So this is the most important criterion to write, and it is fully related with student progress, students evaluation, teaching learning process. So out of it, if we take 2.1, 2.2 and 2.4, these are academic and administrative data. Students enrollment profile, then catering student diversity, this is gender equality, then reservation policy, etc., etc. And teachers profile and quality, full-time teachers, year of service, PhDs, etc., etc. And all these three things are covered by sir. So I will not focus much on these things. The remaining 4, 2.3, 2.5, 2.6 and 2.7. These are directly related with our teaching, learning and evaluation process. And if we see, 200 marks are given to these 4 key indicators. So we have to focus in detail on these 4 aspects. Next. Now see, first we will see 2.7, student satisfaction survey. Sir has mentioned many things, how to take this student satisfaction survey, how to select the students, how many students are to be surveyed, etc., etc. But in this survey, NAAC has given also a template. You can add few things and we can formalize this mechanism and covering the following aspects. In this survey, we can ask for classroom environment, teacher-student relationship, teachers' domain expertise and delivery in classroom, then ICT and other methodologies used in classroom delivery, then exposure to career building paths, library, laboratory accessibility issues, non-teaching staff behavior, timely display and delivery mechanism for academic, financial and administrative services, canteen and other facilities, art, sports and cultural exposure and experiences. We can cover all these aspects and develop a certain survey and take the feedback from students. And after that feedback, we have to analyze the feedback and keep the report for improvement of these services. And then we should track that record and then we can write it qualitatively in our report. So this formalized mechanism is to be built very carefully, because once you have built it, you will carry it for next 5 years, and then you should have a great depository of feedback and the action taken on those feedback. So this is essential aspect of this student satisfaction survey. And ultimately, after SSR or when you submit SSR, NAAC itself will take another survey, SSS, with that data verification process simultaneously. So that will be the another aspect which is done by NAAC, and college has to develop this formal mechanism for writing it in your executive summary or in your qualitative aspects. So this is 2.7. Next, then we will see 2.3. NAAC has focused this learning management system use. So we teacher now in Corona period have understood the importance of online teaching and technologies, and we definitely have a great learning curve during this last 4 months. So this learning management system, this system, the institute has to build it, or otherwise it can take the help of software engineers, certain consultancy firms, or there are free LMS systems available on internet. So in this system, we can create the material, we can distribute the material, we can administer the whole process of students learning, their performance, feedback system, their evaluation, then teachers' improvements and all these things. And we can deliver the whole thing on this system itself. And this system will keep all records so that each and every student gets his or her individualized system of learning. And this is expected from NAAC. That's why I have given 8 free learning management systems available online. And we may know one of them, that is Moodle. So even for add-on courses, for certificate courses, for MOOC type courses, we can use these systems and we can develop whole course there. So Moodle is there, Talent LM is there, then Forma LMS is there, IQAC is there, Opigno is there, OpenOLAT is there, Sakai is there, and many more. And there are Google apps available on mobile also, so that you can connect to this system and you can keep track of your development. So at least one system out of these, if we install in our institution, so that will be one of the best ways to get accredited and get A grade. So I will request all teachers to go and see the websites of these things, and they are easily available to download, just you need technical help. And nowadays they have provided single person use of this system. So one teacher can use for his personal classroom. These systems can be used for personal benefit also, not just for institutional. So let us see these things and work accordingly. So this is 2.3, online teaching ICT use. Next one. Now see, why we are getting into details of these things, because when we are going to write the report, then we have to write these things there. We have used them, we have the record of those things, we have stored those records, and then we have to give the hyperlinks of these records. That's why we are going into details. So before developing the report or documentation, what type of work should be done in college so that we can put them in a documented way. And that's why we are trying to understand these processes and on which criteria we have to work and develop the documents. So here, if we see, just I am giving few examples, you can add many more. So these are the digital resources which can be inculcated in teaching learning processes. For example, if you take softwares, then there is Google Suite, MS Office, Apple Work, then OBS, Shortcut. These are the softwares in which you can develop many text material, audio material, video material. And then you use them in your day-to-day teaching learning process and make record of it. And then that record will be documented for SSR. In research and depositories, if you see, Google Scholar is there, then National Depository is there, NDL, Indian government. The apps are also available. InflibNet is there. Questia online library is there. This is one of the best libraries, particularly for social sciences, all over the world. And its access is just $100 per year. You can do anything here. And you can give access to students, because in third criteria, in fourth criteria, the research of students is also there. So what type of research resources are used? You have to provide them. So first you have to use them. So these are the research depositories. Then ResearchGate, Academia, Wikipedia, Wikimedia, and nowadays Wikipedia is providing Marathi material also. And there is a separate section in Wikimedia which focuses only on Marathi material. And they are working hard on it. So we can make these things available to our students. For Maharashtra, I am saying the same thing is applicable for all states. In Karnataka, there will be Kannada. In Tamil Nadu, there will be Tamil, etc., etc. So these are the things we can use for resources. Then free online courses. This MOOC and Swayam platform, then Udemy, then EDX, Coursera, Unacademy, Khan Academy, YouTube. We can use these sources in our classrooms. We can give students information about these courses, as well as we encourage them to register for these courses. And once they completed it, if they get the certificate, we can store those certificates and show to NAAC that we have done these things for our students. Then audio video streaming, YouTube, Facebook Live, Zoom, Google Meet, MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, Audacity, podcast, voice recorders, all these things can be used in classroom itself. And nowadays, if we use Google Classroom, then these things can be attached there. And students will have the material sent by teacher, and we will record it, which type of material is given to students. Then we have to make the folders of these things, and then we have to see that students have used them, and then we take the signature from them, then we take the feedback from them. We can store those feedbacks, and then that documentation is developed. And this is the text, blog, subject related pages, subject association websites, Creative Commons material. So teacher has to work on all these things, and few of the things are worked by many teachers during Corona period, but it should be continued, and it should become the day-to-day practice in classroom. And then the material prepared by us will be documented and will be presented in SSR. So this is required for us, and I think this material has to be developed by teachers, and then they are documented. Next. Now see, I have given these tools. You can go on the website elearningindustry.com, and 321 tools for educational technology for teachers are given there. And these tools are used in teaching learning delivery. So all things are there, if you see, from surveys, polls, quizzes, to photo image editing, to sticky notes, to web conferencing, to authoring tools, to video tools, PDF tools, then photo sites, then infographics, then text-to-speech tools, digital storytelling, podcast. All these things are there, and we can make a repository of these things which are actually used by teacher, developed by teacher. And then naturally, you can give the hyperlink. You can put your blogs, you can put them on Facebook Live, you can put them on YouTube, and then you can create those hyperlinks, give to students as well as give to NAAC. That teacher has used these sources, and this is the hyperlink, so that NAAC will verify it, cross-verify it. So these are the 321 tools. It's the best website, and you can go there and see all these tools are given, and all paths are also given there. all video tutorials are also given how to use these tools. And once you get acquainted with technology, in within 15 to 20 minutes, you can create those things and you can use them in classroom. So this is teaching learning process 2.3. Next. Next, please. Yeah. So again here, if we see the method basket and the tools and aids to be used for teaching and learning. So when I am seeing method basket, so out of many methodologies, we use mainly lecture method in classroom. But if we can add different methods in classroom, then we are able to write program specific outcomes, course outcomes, etc., etc. So without using these methods, you can't materialize the objectives in practice, because in every course the objectives are given. But when you write outcomes, whether those objectives are fulfilled or not, then you have to show that these types of methodologies we have used to fulfill those objects, and now we can say that the outcome of this teaching learning process is fulfilled, and that is called as outcome based learning, which is focused by NAAC. So this method basket should be developed for each and every course. So out of 10 methods, you may use 4 to 5 methods, but then you should use it rigorously and maintain the record of each and everything. So these methods, group discussion or classwork, workshop, interviews of professionals, research and presentation or publication by students, then experiential learning, problem-based learning, field work, assignments. Generally, university for internal evaluation, university has given the scope of these things, but it didn't specifically mention what to do. So university examination is just formal written examination or MCQ examination only. So you can't say that the outcome of this learning process is fulfilled through only university examination. So that's why we have to use different methods in classroom and maintain the record of these methods. So quiz, question answer sessions, MCQs, open book examinations, seminars, presentations, narration by students, then subject related exhibitions, and then last I have put lecture also. So for topic wise, if we can select 3 or 4 methods out of this basket and use them in classroom, then we are able to write the program outcomes. So you can add any other or new innovative method here, and the tools can be used for these methods: self-reflecting exercises, wallpaper writing, subject-related projects, case studies, surveys, interviews, training programs, on-field visits, internship, working experience, extension service, PPTs, audio-visual clips, essay-type questions, assignments, etc., etc., etc. So teacher has to develop those tools, keep the record of those tools, give them to students, take the compliance, then again keep the record, and then you are able to write the things. So these things should be considered before writing the program outcomes. So this is teaching learning process. We have to do a lot of work on these things and in a formalized manner. Next. Now we will see 2.5 and 2.6. Here NAAC is asking about the evaluation process. Now see, university evaluates in one way, and that is not sufficient at all for grooming the students. So what college teachers have done is important. So the college assessment is formative assessment, and the final assessment is the university. So during formative evaluation, we have to use different methods, tools and techniques and see the student performance progressions. And that's why the formal mechanism is required in colleges, where you can introduce or you can bring development inducing feedback system in your evaluation process. So after every topic or during teaching every topic, we can introduce different methods and tools to get formative assessment of students, whether they understood it in theoretical terms, in practical terms, in usable terms for career related aspects, etc., etc. So enhancing the competence of student, I will say it as a must. So whether the motivation of the student to take the course further and to learn is important, whether the attitude of the student about the subject and its application in society is built or not. The knowledge of the subject is also important. Knowledge speaks about the understanding of the concepts and understanding of the developments of different research-based information. Knowledge is consisted these things, and the skills. Actually, these skills are operational. They are behavioral ones. Whether students are able to solve the problems of the society with the help of their graduation degree. So the actual skills, it is not necessary, it is not enough that you have a knowledge, but you don't have skill. Unless and until you have the skill, student will not make career progression. So these four things should be taken into consideration while developing the mechanism for evaluating the student's progress. And this mechanism is called as competency-based testing. So if we see, NAAC has asked us program-specific outcomes or course outcomes. There, what they are saying is whether the student has developed the competency related to subject or not. So for that competency, we have to take into consideration this mask, and we have to put it formally, and then transparently we should give feedback to students, and regularly we should give feedback to students, so that the prompt correction is possible. If the student is lacking in particular subject or in a particular topic, he is not understanding, she is not getting what you are teaching, she doesn't possess that ability, then a remedial mechanism can be introduced. There are few students who are intellectuals, who are having potentials, but they are not getting stimulating environment, challenging environment in the coursework. So we have to provide them and then build their potentials. So this is called as advanced learning. So in our evaluation process, in our formal mechanism, we should take care of both groups, the remedial group and the advanced learner groups. And that's why this is called as outcome. In university examination, that is called as output. You get this much marks or this grade. That is output, that is not outcome. When we say outcome, its impact is for greater span of period. So student take all these motivations, attitudes, knowledge and skill base through our teaching learning process, and this mechanism has to be built before writing POs and COs. So this is challenging part, and that's why NAAC has said where the formal mechanism is not introduced by NAAC, the institute has to develop them, and it has specifically mentioned this criteria. POs, PSOs and COs should be developed by institution by context, understanding the context of the student, context of the environment, and you have to put it there in your SSR. So there is no standard mechanism given by NAAC. We have to develop this mechanism through this process. Next. So now see, after doing all these things, we are able to write program outcomes, program specific outcomes and course outcomes. So while writing these things, every institute has to be innovative and it has to understand the context of its student and then develop this outcome. So let us see now, for example, how can we develop these things. Next. See, here, if we take 3 years undergraduate general degree, I have taken the example of Shivaji University. In your university, you can take it as a model or example. Suppose if a 3-year undergraduate degree has 6 semesters for conventional degree, so the course or subject जिसको हम paper कहते हैं, so if we take 6 semesters, So in one semester, if there are 6 papers, then in 6 semesters, there are 36 papers. And if we take credit, 1 credit course, CBCS syllabus, credit based. So generally, 12 to 15 hours of teaching and practical is considered as 1 credit. So even this is important for certificate courses, add-on courses, diploma courses, etc. We have to build those modules in terms of credit. So the thumb rule is that 12 to 15 hours of teaching and practical component consists 1 credit. So now if we see, there are 4 credits for 1 subject in many universities. In 1 subject, there are 4 topics, and for 1 topic, 15 hours are generally given. So if you see, 48 to 60 hours for 4 credits. Now, these hours if we see, and if a teacher's workload, weekly workload per subject is 4 hours, and then NAAC has given 3 components, theory, tutorial and practical. So here we see the practical work is considered as double than theory. So if there is 1 subject and there are 4 hours, then either the practical component is there, then you should assign 2 hours to practical, and then 2 hours are remaining, 1 for theory, 1 for tutorial. If only theory paper, then 3 for theory and 1 for tutorial. Tutorial means you have to take the feedback of the students, what they have learned during that week. So getting revision, getting repetition, asking questions, giving certain assignments, and all these things which have mentioned earlier, we can add them in tutorial components. So 3-year undergraduate program and the credit system. So such credit system is used for value-added courses also. If you are starting certificate course for 2 credits, then see that 30 hours should be there. Design it accordingly, module 1, module 2, then assign theory hours, tutorial hours, practical hours, and build that formal mechanism, and take the feedback and take the material from the students, and then store it, and then you can write about that course, program outcome and all these things. So this is one example. Next. Now see how to write program outcome. So here again I have given one example. There are 3 concepts given by NAAC. One is program outcome, another is program specific outcome, and third is course outcome. So when we say program, it is arts, commerce, science, etc., etc., etc. So that is the broader section. So when we say program, the outcome of the program should be written in general format. Suppose we take undergraduate any general program for conventional degree, for example, Bachelor of Arts. So BA is the program. Under it, if we take BA in sociology, then that is program specific. And under it, if we take one subject in sociology, that is called as course. So BA is program outcome, BA in sociology is program specific outcome, and sociology, one paper of sociology, for example, social problems in India, that is a paper for semester 2, paper number 8, 10, whatever it is. So that is called as course. So BA program outcome, BA sociology program specific outcome, and social problems in India is course outcome. So when we say program outcome for any undergraduate degree, we should speak generally, in general terms. For example, here we have taken this example. Student of all undergraduate general degree program at the time of graduation will be able to program outcome number 1, critical thinking. They will be able to take informed actions after identifying the assumptions that frame our thinking and actions, checking out the degree to which these assumptions are accurate and valid, and looking at our ideas and decisions from different perspectives. This is the aspect of critical thinking. It will be used in engineering, it will be used in professional courses, it will be used in sociology, it will be used in literature. So this is the global aspect, critical thinking. Second one is effective communication. After graduation, student will be able to speak, read, write and listen clearly in person and through electronic media in English and in one Indian language, and make meaning of the world by connecting people, ideas, books, media and technology. So such things have to be written by college. NAAC has given one example only, and it has said that we didn't standardize it. You have to write it. The third one is social interaction. Fourth one is effective citizenship. Fifth one is environment and sustainability. Sixth one is self-directed and lifelong learning. You can add. So if the college has arts faculty, if the college has commerce faculty, education faculty, science faculty, then they have to develop the framework for arts, commerce, science, education. So any graduate under any stream of arts, he or she will possess these things. This is called as program outcome. So now if we see, these things are universal things, not specific to particular course or subject, but they are general. Critical thinking, effective communication, it requires for all undergraduate students. So this is one example, undergraduate general degree. Next. Now see, once you identify the general arts degree or commerce degree or science degree or any professional degree stream, then there are specializations. For example, in science, there is BSc in zoology, BSc in physics, BSc in statistics. In arts, BSc in sociology, psychology. In humanities, then literature, English literature. In commerce, again, if there are few specializations, we can add them. So this is called as program specific outcome. So in BSc, the undergraduate student will get those outcomes in PO. Now in PSO, it is BSc zoology. So in zoology, what will be the outcome after graduation? So after graduation, in BSc zoology, this is program specific outcome. The student will be able to understand the nature and basic concepts of cell biology, biochemistry, taxonomy and ecology. He will be able to analyze the relationship among animals, planets and microbes, perform procedures as per laboratory standards in the areas of biochemistry, bioinformatics, taxonomy, economic zoology and ecology. So you can take the whole syllabus of BSc zoology and develop the program specific outcome for that syllabus. The third one, understand the applications of biological sciences in agriculture, aquaculture, agriculture and medicine, etc. etc. So you can add them. So the teacher, the departmental head, they can come together and they can frame the program specific outcome for their specialization. One is only for BSc student, any student, program outcome, and then for BSc zoology, program specific outcome. So we have to see the syllabus, the changes in syllabus, and then we have to write this outcome. Next, I have given the example of zoology BSc. Now let us see the example of BA economics. So after graduation in economics, the student will be able to understand the behavior of Indian and world economy, analyze macroeconomic policies including fiscal and monetary policies of India, determine economic variables including inflation, unemployment, poverty, GDP, balance of payments using statistical methods, understand the behavior of financial and money markets, and perform cost-benefit analysis for making investment decisions. So these are the program-specific outcomes. Now we can understand that unless and until we introduce different methodologies in teaching and learning, we can't fulfill these outcomes. When we say that students are able to make financial decisions or perform cost-benefit analysis for making investment decisions, then in economics, if we didn't teach student the behavior of share market, if we don't visit share market expert or institutions, and if students are not went there to listen the professionals, then they don't understand how to make investment decisions, how to see cost benefit analysis. So we have to bring students out of the classroom and meet those people, or we can take few videos online. We should do all these things in the curriculum itself. GDP, balance of payments, statistical methods. So if we are putting an exhibition on economic survey prepared by students, then that will be the learning of the student about these terms. If we take certain projects, if we make groups and give them a particular project work, for example, India GDP growth since independence, develop a paper, prepare a research paper, or analyze these references and make a particular wallpaper, present in seminar, use Excel, use PowerPoint, make these slides available to students, and all these methods should be introduced in classroom, and then we can say that these outcomes are achieved, and NAAC expects all these things. So we have to prepare them, we have to use them, we have to create the records of those things, and then we have to present it in SSR. So this is PSO for economics. Next. Now take just one course. इसको हम पेपर कहते हैं, पेपर 1, पेपर 2, पेपर 3, पेपर 4, like that. In every semester there are 6 papers. That is called as course. So in course, again NAAC has given 4 categories. The one is discipline specific core course. So as we all know, there are disciplines. In electronics, the paper will be applied electronics. It's a core course. In psychology, the paper will be organizational behavior. In Marathi literature, the paper will be history of Marathi literature. The paper will be history of Indian literature, history of Western literature, history of European literature. So these are discipline specific core courses. Then ability enhancement compulsory courses. We all know that there are few compulsory courses for each year or each semester. So for example, compulsory English. Then few courses are introduced by university which are non-credit self-study courses. Few universities have introduced it. Shivaji University has introduced it in governance and in democracy. So non-credit self-study course. And the fourth one is non-credit self-study. So skill development courses, they are also introduced by few universities, which are sometimes optional ones, sometimes compulsory. So we have to develop course outcome for each and every paper. So this is a huge work, and there is no standardization. College institution has to work on it. Teachers have to work on it. NAAC has given just 1 or 2 examples. So we have to prepare these courses, course outcomes. So we can prepare them with the help of the course objectives. And every paper, there are few objectives given at the top, and then the syllabus is given. So taking those objectives, we can prepare outcome measures, and we can add in it, and we can
enhance our teaching learning process. Next. So now I have given again two examples. Course outcome for science. In science, if you see the paper titled Animal Diversity, we will get subject code also in university syllabus as well as in examination schedule. We get subject code also. It is in BSc second semester paper number 3. I am just giving the example only. Credits are 4 credits. Duration is 15 weeks. Working hours 4 hours per week. 1 theory hour, 1 tutorial hour, 2 practical hours. So course outcome. So the same line is there. After completion of animal diversity course, student is able to, now we have to prepare this. Describe general taxonomic rules on animal classification. Classify stock up to phylum using examples for parasitic adaptation. Write down the life history of Fasciola and its classification. Identify the characters of phylum and its classification. Annelida, its classification, etc. etc. You can prepare it. So this will then we should see that all these course outcomes are achieved through our teaching learning process and maintain those records. Next. Now this is in humanities. For example, title of the course is Psychology of Organizational Behavior. It is in BA3 semester 5 paper number 8. 4 credits, 15 weeks, 4 hours per week. Now in this paper see there is no practical. So what we have done, out of 4 hours per week, 3 hours for theory and 1 hour for tutorial. So what will be the course outcome? After completing this course, students will be able to describe psychological principles of organizational behavior, discuss psychological dimensions of organizational culture and climate to enhance team dynamics, understand job personality factors, identify organizational values for productivity. Now here if we see the verbs, describe, discuss, identify, classify, understand, comment, apply, explain. So we should understand the exact meaning of these terms and whether they are operationally introduced in our teaching learning process or not is the main important area to be highlighted. So first, if we take these words, 22 words are there. Here there are 4 words: describe, discuss, understand, identify, classify, illustrate, explain, critically evaluate, exam, apply. So we can put these things here, and with the help of those words and understanding the meaning of the word, we can develop certain exercises in teaching learning processes with the help of different methods and tools and aids, and see that this outcome will be achieved during the teaching learning. So this is the major work teacher has to do for his papers. Next. Now see, once we do all these things, then the template for writing PO, PSO and SO will be there. In this template, we can put 4 headings. The first one is objective. Generally, these objectives are given in university syllabus for every paper. In few papers, only 1 or 2 objectives are given. You can add few other. For example, the exact principles of organizational behavior paper. So these 4 objectives I have written there: describe, discuss, understand, identify, all these things. Then whether these objectives are achieved or not, we have to develop the process. We have to develop assessment methods and tools. So these objectives and these are the assessment criteria through which we will see that whether these objectives are fulfilled by students or not. So these assessment methods and assessment tools we have to put. So what assessment methods we can use here? To see industry HR department visit.
So once we see that principles of organizational behavior, then how people are recruited, how they are selected, how advertisement is done, how performance appraisal is created, etc., etc. So industry HR department visit, interview of HR manager, workshop on personality job fit search. In classroom itself, you can take a workshop about for students. So there are certain jobs and there are certain personality traits. So there are different standard questionnaires available for this course. Then we can take those questionnaires, give to students, take their feedback, make the record, and see that they understood their personality and the related jobs. Then case study of any industry or organization, it may be local, it may be international, through Wikipedia, through different resources, through videos, through interviews, through magazines, through newspapers, we can give assignment to students. For example, take a case study of Reliance, take a case study of this bank, take a case study of this industry, and we can make a group. 4 students may take one case study, and then their assignments will be there. Then poster presentation, different topics, and we can develop poster presentation. Then sometimes you may add seminars, you may add exhibition, anything. So these are the assessment methods through which I will see that the objectives will be fulfilled. And then what will be the tools? These are the methods. Then interview questionnaire, vocational biography, MCQs, SWOT analysis of students, poster present, all these things can be used. And we have a record of these things. So assessment method and assessment tools, once we introduce and we comply all these things, then of course we can write the outcome statements based on the objectives. So now after doing all these things, we can say that students have realized importance of psychological aspects of organizational behavior, studied or understood the relationship between climate and productivity, explored their strengths and identified weaknesses to overcome to enhance career prospects, etc., etc. So such template will be used for each and every course, and it has to be developed by teacher. Next. So we see how to develop course objectives, assessment processes, and outcomes. And then we can understand at first we have taken this learning outcome, student progress, and all these things. And now teacher once do all these things, once does all these things, naturally in student satisfaction survey, student will give good feedback about institution, what it has given to them, and it will reflect in NAAC survey also. So this is important thing. So here I stop my lecture, and again I thank you all for patiently listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation and your analysis of POs, PSOs, and COs. Here are a few questions, and please quickly answer those questions.
Yes.
The first question is from Dr. Savita Desai. Her question is it required to restrict the LMS used by the teachers for the students enrolled in the HEI? Is it required to restrict the LMS, that is learning management system,
Yes.
used by the teacher for the students enrolled only in the HEI?
Only in?
Now, should it be restricted to the students enrolled in the HEI, or should we extend?
You can extend, but NAAC will consider only HEI students' feedback.
Okay, sir.
You can use it for other students also. You can cover other students, and then you can tell these things in consultancy as well as in MOUs, in extension activities. You can add there that other college students or other people get benefited by this system also. But when institute registers for LMS, then the LMS itself call for only those students from your institute. But for personal use, you can add others.
Okay, sir. Thank you. A related question by Dr. Savita Desai again. is it required to purchase the LMS software by the institution, or can we use the free platforms like
Yes,
Google
yes, yes.
Classroom?
You can use free platform, and even these softwares are free, but the installation charges are there only, and you can use individually also. These free softwares are used by individuals as well as by institutions. Both ways are available.
Sir. So one more question, from Dr. Pitambar Patil. His question is, where is weightage for formative assessment in university result or assessment sheet, except for few last year courses?
See, in university result, that is not formative assessment. University result is summative assessment. It's the last one. So university result is a different thing, and formative assessment is carried out by institution internally.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. These are the questions that were put forth by our students, our participants. Thank you very much for your presentation. Now, I would like to request Dr. Avinash Ramteke, sir, to propose vote of thanks. Now we are approaching the conclusion of the day 1 deliberations of our national webinar. So please, Ramteke, sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you, madam. Good afternoon, all of you. On behalf of IQAC, Devchand College, Arjunnagar, I have to propose vote of thanks for the day 1. First of all, I would like to thank Honorable President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Arjunnagar, Shriman Ashish Bhai Shah, for his constant support and inspiration. I would like to thank Honorable Vice President, Janata Shikshan Mandal, Arjunnagar, Dr. Trupti Bhabi Shah, for her continuous guidance and support. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to respected resource person, Dr. M.B. Kothare sir, NAAC Assessor, and former Principal, G.I. Bagewadi College, Nipani. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to respected resource person, Dr. Shirish Shitole sir, IQAC member, Mahavidyalay, Kolhapur. I would like to extend our thanks to our beloved principal, respected Dr. P.M. Herekar sir, Devchand College, Arjunnagar. Last but not the least, without our dear delegates, this webinar wouldn't have been possible. Our delegates from various states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, all across the country. We thank them all, the participants, and their active participation in this webinar. Thank you one and all. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Now we will end the session, today's session, and tomorrow at 10:30 we will reassemble. Thank you very much and have a good day.